for 100 centuries.
Yeah.
Let's go. Take a look at my soul. Nothing left but these hoes. They tried to take me down, but Yah is in control. So now I ask you suddenly black too? The oppressor ain't fair when he attacked you. Started wars cause they tried to tax you. You should be asking who they was taxing, not what prices on our backs. And the IRS wanted in on the back end. Lincoln was never down for emancipation, just good political relations to try to make a good case.
Your show will go live in 5
Yeah,
seconds.
Jim
4,
Crow came right
3,
back in the
2,
field, certified
1.
with a government seal. Crowley tried to stand up with zeal. Sadly, he thought that Jesus was real. They gave us them fake news and education to keep us concealed.
Take a look at my soul. All I wanna do is go. There's nothing left of me of this horrid slavery. For 100 centuries, nothing left for you to hold. All I want to be is with my Yah and live free.
Come on. For 100 centuries of this horrid slavery. But Yah, he is the king, and he will save me. So now I ask you, will you drop to your knees and beg Yah, please? Don't you know that Yah is coming? It's like tomorrow. I can't even tell you the time on your Audemars. Just guard your heart, baby Paul, baby dog, don't cry. Paparazzi never cared about them tears, no way. Just fear my Yah all day. Rest in him, just like the song say. I'm waiting for the day that he sit on the throne. Till then I'm stuck in my zone, staying focused on the day when he finally take us home. Till then I'm prophesying to the dry bones. Till that day that I'm gone and Yah reveal what he has shown. That Yahweh is Elohim, is him and none alone.
Take a look at my soul. All I wanna do is go. There's nothing left of me of this horrid slavery. For 100 centuries, nothing left for you to hold. All I want to be is with my Yah and live free. All I want to be is with my Yah and live free. All I want to be is with my Yah and live free. All I want to be is with my Yah and live free. All I want to be is with my Yah and live free. Live free. Yeah. Take a look at my soul. All I wanna do is go. There's nothing left of me of this horrid slavery. For 100 centuries, left for you to hold. All I want to be is with my Yah and live free. All I want to be is with my Yah and live free.
Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Praise the mighty Yah. Yahweh is righteous, Yahweh is holy, and let Yahweh be magnified. Shalom, shalom. I am Mowreh Napthtali, here with you once again, bringing you nothing but the truth. It's an honor, it's a privilege and a pleasure to be able to stand before you once again in this, indulging in this great sacrifice, even the sacrifice of the knowledge of Elohim. Yahweh has blessed us once again to indulge in his truth. And I praise Yahweh for all those who's gathered with me this evening to partake in this great sacrifice. Hallelujah. And as you know, if you've been listening in this week concerning the light of the Almighty and how great the light of Yahweh is. You have learned, if you haven't already learned, that light excels darkness. Light supersedes darkness. Light is superior and far superior than darkness. Just like it says about a virtuous woman, for her price, her value is far above rubies. A faithful man, who can find? For his price is even far above rubies. And it's like the light. It supersedes darkness. And the light people is where we want to dwell. The light is where we want to be. For light is what gives life. Light is what allows you to be fruitful, to be prosperous. But the dark, it only goes so far. For in the dark, there is no fruit. There is no bountifulness. There is no prosperity. Rather, in the dark, this is where things are destroyed. This is where things eventually will come to an end. And as you know, the earth is in gross darkness. And this darkness that's upon the earth is destroying the earth. And all Yahweh have to do is just let it be and let the people be. And eventually, the dark will destroy everything. But the more Yahweh will allow the light to be in the midst, then we still have hope. And what did the Almighty say about the light in the very beginning? He said he seen the light that it was good. And that's the thing that you must know about light. It only represents good. So if you are a light in the earth, you are an ambassador of light. You are a minister of light. You are a servant of the light. And all you want to do is be an example, shining light in this earth. Then you're going to bring forth fruit of goodness. And so those that portray to have a light, well, you can't fool us because we looking for the good. We're looking for the good fruits that your light will bring forth. We're looking for the life that your light will produce. We're looking for the healing, the blessings, the building, the bountifulness that your light will bring. And if you are indeed in light, it will bring these things. Praise the mighty Yah. I want to start tonight's presentation on further dealing with the light in the book of Psalms 89. And the thing about the light is not here just for us to look at it. Yahweh wants us to walk in it. He wants us to live in the light. He wants us to praise him in this light. But we have to learn how to really do this. For Yahweh said he's the Elohim of knowledge, and to really move yourself about, you must equip yourself with knowledge. That way your spirit can be upgraded and know how to move about through knowledge. But listen, Psalms 89, verse 15. Blessed is the people that know the joyful sound. They shall walk, O Yah, in the light of thy countenance. And truly this is where the light comes from. The countenance of Yah, the word of the Almighty, and blessed is the people that knows the joyful sound. These are the ones that will walk in the light of Yah's countenance. And that's what we're trying to do, people. We're not trying to hide from the Almighty. You can't hide from Him. We're not trying to run from the Almighty. You can't run from Him. It's time to face your King, face your Creator, and live in His light. The dark, that's where people, they don't want to face Yah. They don't want to face their Maker and their Creator. And I'm going to show you tonight why they don't want to face the Almighty. Because how beautiful the light is something very peculiar about the light that our people just cannot swallow. It just don't add up to them that the light will have this part that they say, why is this a part of the light? I want everything in the light, but this part, I just can't accept it. I just don't want none of it. I'd rather have all of the other things. But this part of the light is most essential. And Yahweh has shown me why the people rather have darkness than live in the light of Yah's countenance. Look what it says in Numbers, the 6th chapter. This is the blessing. Blessed are the people that knows the joyful sound. The joyful sound of the truth. The joyful sound of knowledge pouring down from heaven. The 100% unadulterated truth that will reign supreme, that will convert your soul and cause you to live in the light. Not only live in the light, but be a light. As if you was paying attention to the last couple programs. This light is what enters your soul, and it will cause you to be a person that's not like everyone else. It will cause you to be able to see things that other people can't see, hear things other people can't hear, do things other people can't do, because this light is actually power. This light is a blessing. Look what it says in Numbers, the 6th chapter, the 24th verse. Yahweh bless thee. And this is the prayer of the priest. And I'll start at 22nd verse. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron and unto his sons, saying, On this wise ye shall bless the children of Israel, saying unto them, Yahweh bless thee and keep thee. Yahweh make his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. And this is what we want. Yahweh lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. And they shall put my name upon the children of Israel, and I will bless them. And this blessing comes by the shining of Yahweh's face. This blessing comes by the shining of the words of Yahweh's face. That comes from his mouth. And it's a pure, powerful light. And see, this book here, although it's full of light, it's full of power, it's full of truth, Yahweh must unlock it and open it up and grant it to you. And there's a way, there's a channel that you can go to get Yahweh to unlock the doors of the light, to unlock the channels of this great power that'll cause you to be like a man like King David, who took a bear and a lion and slew him by his bare hands. To cause you to be like a man like Moses that was able to go 40 days and 40 nights without eating and drinking, and then running back another 40 days and 40 nights. That's how powerful this light is. They have little, what they call solar panels that sit in the light all day. And what do it do? It just stores up the power from the light. But that's the physical. When you tap into the physical and the spiritual, this is the place you want to be. Now you got full-on power that you can't even imagine. Look what it says in the book of Micah, the 6th chapter, the 6th verse. Because it's very simple. The knowledge of Yahweh is not complicated. It's us that we have our heads in the clouds and our heads in the stars, but Yahweh wants us to just humble ourselves and come on down to earth. You wasn't created where the stars is. You weren't created in the heavens. Yahweh made us from the dust of the earth for a reason. He could have made us from some unknown material in the heavens. He could have made us from gold or whatever he wanted to make us from. But he made us from the earth. That's a sign, people. So let's stay right here on earth where we're supposed to be. In Micah, the 6th chapter, it says in the 6th verse, wherewithal shall I come before Yah and bow myself before the high Elohim? Shall I come before him with burnt offerings, with calves of a year old? Will Yahweh be pleased with thousands of rams or 10,000s of rivers of oil? Shall I give my firstborn for my transgression, and the fruit of my body for the sin of my soul? He have shown thee, O man, what is good. So basically, Yahweh is telling you, I've already shown you the light. I've already shined it in your face. The light has been in your face, but you don't want to see the light. That's the problem. It's something about that light that turns you off. But I done shown you what's good. And what's good is the light. I seen the light that it was good. And this is the light. What does Yah require of thee? But to do justly. That's what's good, people. That's the light that Yahweh wants you to walk in. Justly. And we know this just means righteousness. But it used this word justly because this word actually means balance. And you cannot be righteous without learning balance. And too often, we're unbalanced. And the reason we're unbalanced is because we're inconsiderate. For you to be a righteous person, a balanced person, you have to be a very, very considerate person. Which means you can't, matter of fact, you must consider yourself less. Consider everybody else 10 times before you consider yourself. The more you consider those around you, the more just you will be, the more balanced you will be. But the less you consider those around you, you're going to find yourself inconsiderate, unbalanced, therefore unrighteous. But do justly, love mercy. And see that justly, like I said, people, that's the light. That's the light I got to live in. I just want the good things. I just want the bountiful fruits. But I don't want the part of the light that I gotta do this, that, and the other to get all these good things. I got to be considerate and consider people more than myself. That don't make sense to me. How can I consider somebody more than my own self? Look what it says. Love mercy. And we know this just means kindness. And love and kindness is a very hard thing for our people to do. For Yahweh said that we are hard-hearted, stiff-necked people. And when you do justly and you're trying to be righteous and you're trying to shine with the righteousness of Yah, it's going to automatically cause you to love mercy. Because to be righteous, you must love mercy. You must love to live outside yourself. You must love kindness. Like King David, one of the great testimonies of Yah. He said, man, where is one of Jonathan's sons? My friend that loved me past the love of a woman. My friend is dead and gone now. And now that I'm set up as king, I need to find an offspring of my friend so I can show him the kindness of Elohim. Not my own kindness. I want to shine upon this man with the light of Yah. I want to shine upon him with the kindness of Elohim, the mercy that Yahweh has taught me. Love mercy and to walk humbly with thy Elohim. And here go the 3 peas in the pod that our people say, I don't want none of them peas. I don't eat them kind of peas. I don't want none to do justly and be balanced and considerate. Love mercy, love being kind, be a kind person. And just love that kindness, love drawing my soul out and doing for others and forgiving people even though they wrong. Doing for people, helping them out even though I know they ain't doing right. Love and mercy. But then Yahweh say the hardest one for last. To walk humbly with thy Elohim. And there it is, people. That's the light. That's the light of Yah's countenance. When Yahweh's face began to shine upon you, he will begin to not only teach you justice and judgment, he will not only begin to teach you mercy, he will teach you humility. And humility is the hardest thing for our people. For we the most hard-hearted people on the face of the earth. And all we want to do is be the kings and queens and princes and princesses of the earth. And we want to walk around looking like it. We want to walk around smelling like it. We want to walk around sounding like it. We want to walk around acting like it. What sense it is me looking like the king and I can't boast myself in it. I can't pride myself in all this good glory. And I can't have my arrogance mounted up. What sense does it make that I can't be pompous when I am the high? I'm the top. I'm the best. So what sense does it make that you want me to be humble, Yah? Yahweh said, until you learn how to walk humbly with your Elohim, you will never walk in the light of Yah. You will never understand Yahweh's laws. The scripture says to the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to these, it's because there is no light in them. And some of the greatest testimonies, the greatest lights, that's at the strongest examples of lights in these scriptures. We look at them people today, and all we can do is say, some of us say, well, praise Yah. But some of us shake our head and say, that's impossible. Totally impossible. But no, this is the way. This is the way. Turn with me to the book of 2 Samuel, the 23rd chapter. I done figured it out, people. And I ain't going to say I figured it all out. But I feel like Yahweh really got me on to something. Our people don't want the light. And it's mind-boggling because the light is where all the goodness is. Ain't no goodness in the dark. Ain't nothing but confusion, foolishness, wickedness, ugliness, nastiness, just everything that's bad. That's what's in the dark. And so, for the life of me and anyone that got just a little bit of sense, It's like, why don't the people want the light? Here it is. Yahweh got day. He said that's the name of light. You got dark. That's the name of night. Night, that's the name of dark. And instead of our people living in the light, they rather live in the night. Well, no, a day begins when it's getting dark. And the only reason why you have that delusion and confusion, because Yahweh said, I choose your delusions. You ain't confused this way just because you confused this way. You confused this way because I confused you that way. And why did I confuse you this way? Why did I make something so simple be your delusion? Here it is. When the light is departing, you saying a day is beginning. But the day is the name of light. That don't make no sense. But Yahweh said the reason why is because you don't want to live in the light. So therefore, that's your delusion. You ain't going to even know the difference between a day and a night. Something a little baby can understand. Because at the end of the day, it's for a sign. You don't want to live in the light. You don't want to live in the truth. And the truth is, it's really because you don't want to live humble. You don't want to live humble. Look what it says in 2 Samuel, the 23rd chapter. The first verse reads, Now these be the last words of David. David, the son of Jesse, said, and a man who was raised up on high. And this is what Yahweh do with the lowly. This is what Yahweh do with the humble. He raises them up. But the wicked, they raise themselves up. He was raised up on high, the anointed of Elohim, of Yaakov, and the sweet psalmist of Israel said, the spirit of Yah spake by me. And the spirit of Yah is a light, people. The spirit of man is a light. And we get our spirit from the Almighty. Yahweh said the spirit of man is a candle that discovers all the inward parts of your body, of your soul. He's able to see the inward parts of you through your spirit. He know what kind of heart you got because of your spirit. I already know your kidneys because I see your spirit. I already know your liver. I already know your whole inward parts because the spirit is the candle. The spirit is the light of our souls. And the spirit of Yah is also his light. But the spirit of Yah spake by me. And his word, which is light, was in my tongue. It's all about light, people. The Elohim of Israel said, the rock of Israel spake to me. He that ruleth over men must be just, ruling in the fear of Elohim. He must be, to be a true inspiration. To be a true inspiration, you must embrace humility more than anybody. And humility, people, this is why we don't want nothing to do with the light. Humility is actually affliction. And see, now you can get to scratching your head and wonder, why do I want to be afflicted? That's what people, what sense do it make that I should want to be afflicted? What sense do it make that I go out here and wake up when the day is going on and I'm about to afflict myself? I'm about to suffer myself? That don't make no sense. Not to the wicked. But when you allow Yahweh's light to shine upon you, you're going to understand what this affliction is all about. And you're going to begin to love affliction. You're going to begin to embrace affliction. Because that's what humble is. That's why we don't understand what humble is. Humble is affliction. But you got to know what kind of affliction that Yahweh's talking about. It says, the Elohim of Israel. said, the rock of Israel spake to me, he that ruleth over men must be just, ruling in the fear of Elohim. He shall be as the light of the morning, when the sun rises, even a morning without clouds. How you going to be a light of the morning when the sun rises and you don't even rise when the sun rises? See, I know you're tired, but when you call yourself a true servant of Yah, if you want to be a true servant of Yah, if you striving to be a servant of Yahweh, you must rise when the sun rises. That's your affliction. That's your humility. That's how you walk humbly with Yah. You can't walk humbly with Yah without being afflicted. And that's your suffering. I'm going to get up when the sun get up. Because I must be a light today. I must be an inspiration today. I must work today. And as long as you keep that on your mind, maybe you will stop the vanity at night and use the night for what Yahweh giving it to you for. But it says, Elohim of Israel said, the rock of Israel, he shall be as the light of the morning when the sun rises, even a morning without clouds, as the tender grass springing out of the earth by clear shining after rain. See, this is how it's supposed to look when you really allowing Yahweh's light to shine upon you. Look what it says in the book of Isaiah 58. See, we don't want nothing to do with the light. I want to be up all night having me a good old time. And I want to sleep when I want to. Wake up. If I want to wake up when the sun rises, that's the word. Let that be the time I want to wake up. But if I want to wake up at noon, well, so be it. Why is it a problem with that? Shouldn't I just be able to get my rest and sleep as long as I want to? Well, when you live in the light going to tell you no. You can't sleep as long as you want to. You can't sleep when you want to. Because the light is going to let you know it ain't even about you. The light is Yahweh's light. And to live in Yahweh's light, you got to be a part of this light. And this light ain't about doing things on your time, and the sun rising at your time, and it's setting on your time, and the days is going about your time. No. You just a speck in a spectrum. And that's another thing we don't want to accept. This is why the light is too powerful for us. The light is too real for us. The light, dim it down in here a little bit so everybody can't see how small I am, how ugly I am. We don't want nothing to do with the light. But if you embrace the light, maybe you can be beautiful just like the light is. The light is actually beautiful. Humility is actually beautiful. Affliction, the righteous affliction of Yah is actually beautiful. And I'm going to show you how beautiful it is. We can start seeing it right here in Isaiah 58. When it says, in the 6th verse, is not this the fast that I've chosen? To loose the bands of wickedness, to undo the heavy burdens. How you going to undo some heavy burdens? You don't even want nothing to do with no burdens. And most people don't want no burdens. That's just the truth. We'd rather have somebody do everything. But Yahweh said, no, I want you to walk humbly with me. And when you walk humbly with Yah, you learn that I got to put some burdens on my shoulders. I gotta be a servant. Yahweh made me to be a servant. And that's the light, people. We don't want to be no servant. A servant is somebody that's running around doing everything, working. And when they done, they stand in the corner waiting to do something else. And when you ain't got nothing for them to do, they just looking, waiting for, oh yeah, let me get that. I got that real quick. I get that. Because they know the beauty in it. And I'm going to show you how beautiful this thing is. When you truly embrace humility, it says, lose the bands of wickedness, undo the heavy burdens, let the oppressed go free, and that ye break every yoke. Is it not to deal thy bread to the hungry, that thou bring the poor that are cast out to thy house? And when thou seest the naked, that thou cover him, and that thou hide not thyself from thy own flesh. And the truth is, just these two verses, you don't realize how much work, how much labor, and how much burden is involved in all of this fast that Yah said he's chose. This is the light that he said, I want you to live in. And this is only Yah's light. And to really commit yourself and your life to this, oh, this is too much. Yahweh says in the 8th verse, then shall your light break forth as the morning, and your health is going to spring forth speedily, and your righteousness shall go before thee. The glory of Yah is going to be your reward. And then shalt thou call, and Yahweh shall answer. Because now you got real light upon you. Now you walking in the light of Yah. You living in the light of Yah. And you got this light up in you. And it makes you powerful. Now you got a direct connection with the Almighty. You don't have to go through nobody. You can talk to Yahweh yourself, and he's going to answer you. Just like our mother, Rebecca, when she had 2 babies in her womb, and they was wrestling, Yaakov and Esau, and she was perplexed, and why are these babies in my womb? I can tell, I sense the energy, my stomach rumbling. I see elbows and knees. These babies is fighting. They wrestling in my womb. She went to Yah. And Yahweh told her, 2 different nations in your womb. 2 different kind of people all together. Although they twins and they brothers, 2 different people. And they don't get along in the womb, and they not going to get along when they come out the womb. They that different. They opposites. One wild, one calm. One a in-home bound person, one is a in the woods person. 2 different. But she didn't have to go to nobody. She had a direct connection with the Almighty. It says, look what it says. In the 10th, I'm going to read the 9th verse again. Then shalt thou call, and Yahweh shall answer. Thou shalt cry, and he shall say, here I am. If thou take away from the midst of thee the yoke. To take a yoke from the midst of you, it take energy to do that. It takes strong efforts to do that. It says, in the putting forth of the finger and speaking vanity. You have to put a whole lot of vanity down to really get to the business of Yah. And it says further, and if thou draw out thy soul unto the hungry, and satisfy the afflicted soul, then shall thy light rise in obscurity. Your light gonna rise in darkness, in other words. In darkness, your light is gonna rise. And thy darkness shall be as the noonday. Which means what? You don't even have no darkness at this point. You done got to the point where you just a being of light. And you don't even have darkness. Because you're a person that's getting busy. Drawing your soul out. You getting up at the rising of the sun. And you ain't going down until the sun go down. That's the humility. That's the workload. That's the life of Yahweh's servants. Walking humbly with Yah is to put in that work. Put on some burdens on your shoulder. Don't wake up every day trying to just pleasure yourself. Don't wake up every day thinking about how can I relax myself? How can I pleasure myself? How can I please myself? What can I do today to just satisfy myself? That ain't humility. Humility is affliction. Righteousness is affliction. Delight is affliction. In other words, how can I afflict myself today? And if you had the right thing on your mind at night, you already know how you're going to afflict yourself, how you're going to humble yourself. I'm going to rise, and I'm about to start working. When I get in that yard, that's going to be my affliction. When I clean this house, that's going to be my affliction. And I'm doing all this to show y'all that I'm walking humbly with you, y'all. I'm about to afflict myself. I'm about to work myself. And I'm going to keep it going all day. And when you do this, people, you know what you end up being? An inspiration. You end up being a light. You can't inspire nobody by sitting down, laying down, staying down, in the house, in your room, not doing nothing, not drawing your soul out. You can't inspire nobody like that. How you going to be a king of the earth by just wearing jewels and wearing fresh garments of apparel and having your hair done? That ain't what inspires. It's inspiring when you see people put that work in. Even today, you got heathens that don't even know the Almighty. The only reason why you inspired by them because of the work. Mayweather got all these diamonds and golds and stuff like this. But for him to get there, he had to put in a lot of work. And he knows it. I know it, and a lot of people know it. People want what he got, but they ain't willing to do what it take. They want what LeBron James got, but they ain't willing to do what it take. It's too much work involved. It's too much commitment involved. It's too much dedication involved. It's too much humility and affliction. That's an afflicting life. But at the end of the day, what they got don't amount. Go to the book of Proverbs. We know this to be the truth, but most people don't understand it. It says in Proverbs, the 3rd chapter, the 13th verse, happy is the man that finds wisdom, and the man that getteth understanding. For the merchandise of it is better than the merchandise of silver, and the gain thereof than fine gold. So a lot of people put in that work, and they get that silver and gold at the end of the day. She is more precious than rubies, and all the things that can't be desired are not to be compared unto her. Length of days is in her right hand, so you can't buy length of days with all your money. But you can when you put in that work for Yah, and you humbling yourself, and you showing Yah that Yah, I'm going to be just, because I'm going to consider. I'm going to consider everyone around me and everything outside of myself. Yah, I'm going to love mercy, which means I got to draw my soul out. I got to show kindness to this earth. And I'm going to walk humbly with you, Yah. I'm going to make sure that I'm going to carry the affliction of the righteous. I'm going to carry the burden of the righteous, because this is the only way I'm going to shine in this earth, y'all. And when you live this kind of life, Yahweh is going to pour wisdom on you. He's going to pour it upon you. And it says, length of days is in her right hand, and her left hand, riches and honor. Her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace. She is a tree of life to them that lay hold upon her, and happy is everyone that retaineth her. And that's what we're trying to do. Give you this wisdom so you can lay hold upon it and say, man, I got to start walking humbly with Yah. And since we in Proverbs, also go to that 34th verse. Matter of fact, read 33 and 34. It says, the curse of Yah is in the house of the wicked, but he blesses the habitation of the just. Surely he scorneth the scorners, but he gives grace unto the lowly. And this is why we don't like the light, because the light is about being lowly. And the last thing I want to do, I want to get this money, I want to get this and that, and I want to live on the high. I want to live on cloud 9. I'm a king out here. So lowly, that don't make sense for my life. That don't make sense. But Yahweh said he gives grace to the lowly. And let me show you how the lowly think. Look what it says in the book of Isaiah, the 55th chapter. If you don't have this kind of thought in your mind, excuse me, hold on. We're going to Isaiah 55 next. Stay in Proverbs and go to the 16th chapter. Because what are we shining on the light tonight? We're shining the light on humility. And this is that part of light that causes people to run away from it. They would throw everything that's good in the light away because of this one thing, and that's called humility. And humility is going to come by the way of affliction. It's going to come by the way of a burden, just like a father. You got a lot of deadbeat dads, deadbeat fathers, because all they want is the pleasure. But they don't want the burden of the responsibility that comes from having pleasures. They going to lay with that woman, and when that blessing come out that womb, pew, they gone. But Yahweh said, no, a real man, he going to take that burden. He going to raise that baby. He going to hold that baby. He going to change that baby. He going to put all his heart, soul, and might into that baby because he know all the affliction that come with raising babies, it's a righteous affliction. It's a righteous burden. And he's going to bear it gladly because he know that's what's going to cause me the blessing. Only good men bear these kind of burdens. Righteous men, men that love mercy and justice. How dare you lead this woman? That's the most inconsiderate, false balance, unbalanced thing, that you done had a baby with this woman and you left her with the whole responsibility and burden by herself. You can't get more unbalanced than that. But the balance, the just, is I'm going to share that burden with you. Matter of fact, I'm going to do my best to carry more of the burden for you. But maybe in my trial, we just fall at 50-50, but I'm going to carry this burden with you. We're going to do this thing together. And when we have another one and another one, we just going to keep doing it together. And we ain't going to cry about it. We ain't going to whine about it. We're going to embrace it because this is what Yahweh wants us to do. He wants us to be burdened with these kind of afflictions. And it ain't going to do nothing but teach us. And at the end of the day, it's going to be the greatest blessing in the world. When these plants raise up and they able to yield fruit back to us. See how beautiful walking humbly with Yahweh can be? When you man up and you just take on the burden of life. That's what Yahweh wants. Walk humbly with me. I want you to take on the burden of life. Be a good son. Be a good daughter. Do what your father said. Do what your mother said. Wash them dishes. Do as much work as you can in one day. Because that ain't going to do nothing but make me shine upon you. And the more work you do, the more inspiring you're going to be to this world. The less work you do, the more you're going to diminish. And the more your light is going to get dim and dim and dim. But if you want to shine people with real light, it's time to pick up righteous burdens and run with it. Righteous burdens, serving Yah, serving the sanctuary, all the way down to everything you gotta. Yahweh don't want no sons and daughters and your house is jacked up. How you an inspiration and people come to your house and it's jacked up? And I know it might be a lot to take care of Yah's house, your mom's house. That's the righteous affliction. Look what it says in Proverbs, the 16th chapter, the 19th verse. This is the mind state of those that truly get it. Better it is to be of a humble spirit with the lowly. See, that's the better place. It's always the better place to be of a humble spirit with the lowly, right? Than to divide the spoil with the proud. So sometimes we think the better way is what's right. But the better way, you might have an idea, and your idea is better. But Yahweh is going to let you know that just because your idea is better, don't mean it's right. Just because your idea is better, if it don't come by the way of humility, because Yahweh really don't care about what you think is right. Yahweh just want to see humility. This is why now we can go to Isaiah 55 and you can understand Isaiah 55 a little bit more. Because some people have a problem with their own thoughts and their own ideas and their own opinions. And this is why we don't want to come into the light, because we too caught up into what we think. My opinion, my ideas, man, they better and they better. They may well be. But you know what? You got to have humility. And until you have that, your idea is garbage. It's a wasted idea. And it's a shame that a good idea can go to waste. But yeah, it's going to go to waste because Yahweh don't need your good idea at the end of the day. Nobody needs it. You will find out the world will keep moving without your good idea and what you think. But if you humbled yourself, look like it says here in Isaiah 55, and starting at verse 6, seek Yahweh while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. Let the wicked forsake his way. See, when you come into the house of Yah, you come into the ways of Yah, it's time to start forsaking your ways. The unrighteous man says thoughts. It's time to start forsaking your thoughts. And let him return unto Yah, and he will have mercy upon him, and to our Elohim, for he will abundantly pardon. And sometimes most of the time, when you a servant, as we all should be striving to be a servant, and this is why we run away from the light of Yah. This is why Yahweh said, Israel don't want none of me. And the reason why we don't want none of Yah, because, man, all Yahweh want me to be is this servant. He want me to be this humble servant that's doing all the work. I don't want that life. I want to go over here and be like these other nations. And when they get up rich and when they get up to the top, they just bark orders. And they tell people what to do. And they smack people around. I want to be able to do that. I just want to be able to do what I want to do. If I want to have a party on Saturday, I want to be able to have a party on Saturday. I don't want to have these commandments on me. When you are serving, you must forsake your thoughts and your ways. And whatever your master think, that's what matters. But when you got an idea, Yahweh, through your humility, he said, when you commit your way to me, I'll establish your thoughts. One day Yahweh going to open up the door, and it's going to be an opportunity for you to show what's in your mind. And next thing you know, they said, wow, that's a good idea. Let's do it. But you was humble enough to wait for your moment. But when you come in the door, don't come in the door as a servant. I just want to do it your way. What you need done. But that's too humble. That's why we don't want to live in the light of Yah. And unless you that humble, you ain't getting promoted. Unless you that humble, you're not even about to, Yahweh's not about to put you in the proper places. But you got to get yourself that humble. I'm just a servant. Look what it says in Proverbs, the 31st chapter. We don't want nothing to do with the light because the light get too real. See, Joseph was a servant, our brother, Yaakov's son. He was a servant, and when he went into Egypt, he was raised to be a servant, and he had the mind of a servant. And this is why he found favor everywhere he went, because all he trying to do was serve. See, people, they don't want to get to the top by just being a humble servant. They want to get to the top by being a mean man. They want to get to the top with their muscles and say, yeah, I got up here because of my strength. I got up here because my wits. But no, the true servants of Yah, they get up there because Yahweh bring them up there. And until Yahweh bring them up there, they just serve. They shine. It can be the littlest thing. I'm about to clean this kitchen. That's so little of a thing to clean the kitchen, but you know what? In a real balance, you don't realize how great it can be. Because it shows the little steps before you get, if you can't conquer little steps, how Yahweh gonna put you in big steps? You can't conquer little things, how Yahweh gonna put you into the big things? You can shine it from the little things all the way to the greater things. Shine. That's all you got to do. And that's all servers are trying to do. They trying to shine by putting in that work and putting 100% in everything they touch. And they doing it because I'm just trying to shine. I'm trying to show Yah that, Yah, this is my walking humbly with you. And I'm waiting for you to bless me. I'm waiting for you to upgrade me. I'm waiting for you. Because I know I can't find a faithful man, but you can. I know I can't find a virtuous woman, but you can. And all the money in the world, I still can't find them. So, Yah, I'm just going to serve, walk humbly with you. I'm going to love mercy. I'm going to do justly. Because then I know you're going to be my Elohim. If you look at this woman in Proverbs 31, it says that in the 10th verse, who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. The heart of her husband does safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. And see, a humble woman like this, you have to really study her and look at every verse. Walking humbly with Yah, you don't walk humbly with Yah and get down the line. Yah, when you gonna do this? Yah, I've been waiting for this. Yah, I've been waiting for that. It's been a long time, Yah. When you get to serving and working and doing what you're supposed to be doing, you ain't even got time to think about what you want and what you asking for. You ain't going to have time because Yahweh going to give it to you before you even ask for it. You ain't worried about somebody praising. When people going to praise me? When people going to thank me? When people going to do this? And when people going to do that? That ain't humble at all. Won't you just bear the affliction like Yahweh wants you to? Walk humbly with Yah like he wants you to, because all he's trying to do is test you, suffer you, to see if you really want the light, if you really going to walk in the light. And part of walking in that light is patience. Patience, that's too humble. Do you know how afflicting it is to be patient? To sit and wait? I don't have that kind of guff in me. Matter of fact, that don't make sense. If God is really God, why I gotta wait? He can snap his finger and it's done, so why don't he just do it? This is why we don't want nothing to do with the light. Yahweh want to know that you have patience. Yahweh want to know that you got it in you to put in that work. Yahweh want to know that you got it in you to man up. Take care of responsibilities. Yahweh want to know you got it in you to draw your soul unto death. If you got to get it done. Would you going to go to sleep on your son? And he's sick? You going to go to sleep on your wife? You need rest? And she's sick? You going to go to sleep on Yah? Because you tired? Yahweh want to know. This light is way too powerful just to give it to you. Are you willing to draw yourself unto death for it? Are you really willing to embrace humility for it? And the truth is, there is no other way. You must embrace it. This woman here, she seek wool and flax, working willingly with her hands. You don't have to ask her to do nothing because she always looking for something to do. And when she asks, can I do something? If it's nothing to do, she going to find something to do. She worketh willingly with her hands. She wants to do something. She's like the merchant ship. She brings her food from afar. She rises also while it's yet night. And she gives meat to her household and a portion to her maids. She got maids. And she getting up before them, feeding them. What kind of sense does that make? If this is the light of Yah, I don't want nothing to do with that light. I want my maids waking up before me. I want them feeding me, not the other way around. And this is why we run from Yah. This is why we don't want nothing to do with Yah. These things is too much like right. And yes, the least I can do with all the things that I have my maids and my servants to do for me today, all the work that they going to carry out for me today, the least I can do is get up and feed them a proper meal and put my love into it and show my appreciation for everything that they about to do for me today and how they going to build me and help me today. That's the least I can do, is bless them in the beginning of this day. That don't seem beautiful to you? That don't seem inspired? Now all the amazing servants inspired. Man, y'all taste that food, or man, she ain't have to do that. We the servants. But she whipped us up the fantastic meal this morning. Every morning she does it. Now I'm feeling good today. She put some herbs in that stuff. It got my soul feeling good. I'm inspired by this woman. I'm about to put that work in today. Can't you see how beautiful it is? But no. We are lazy people. The last thing we want to do is put in that work. And even when you get rich, you still got to put that work in. That's what Yahweh wants. Don't get up high and then forget your humility. It says, she rides while it's yet at night, give a portion to her maid. She considers a field, she buys it, the fruit of her hands. She planteth a vineyard. Girded her loins with strength and strengthen her arms. You got to strengthen yourself up. Don't let yourself be weak. And when you allow yourself to be weak, it just feeds and produces more weakness. You got to push yourself. Man, I get sick every time I work out. Yeah, you will keep working out until you don't get sick. Don't stop working out because you get sick. Man, I get sick when I do this. I get sick and I'm too tired when I do. Well, don't give up. You better push yourself. You better strengthen your arms. And when you get sick, that's just showing you signs that your body is in balance. You got to get yourself strong. And so as soon as the opportunity, you feeling good, maximize on it. But we can keep reading this all day. And this woman don't do nothing but work. She's getting it in. Righteous are burdens, righteous afflictions, walking humbly with her Yah. And it says the law of kindness is in her tongue. Look what it says in the book of Numbers, the 11th chapter. And I'm showing you all this inspiration today because it's actually my inspiration. Yahweh has inspired me that, look here, son, you my servant. You my servant, son. And I want you to work. And I want you to work hard. Even when your back hurt, I want you to still work for me. Because that shows me your commitment and dedication. Even when you tired, son, I don't want you to drop the ball. Because that shows me your commitment and dedication. And he showed me that this is how you begin to be an inspiration. This is how you begin to be a light, by drawing your soul out. And when I look at all the patriarchs, like here in Numbers, the 11th chapter, this is just the way of Yah. Numbers, the 11th chapter, the 11th verse. Moses said unto Yah, wherefore hast thou afflicted thy servant? What do you mean? Did he whoop him? Did he take a branch out the woods and start smacking him on the back? And listen, a lot of us, if you don't get your act together, that's the kind of affliction you got coming your way. Some kind of just painful, obscure, dark affliction. You can't run from the affliction either way. So it's best to embrace the affliction of the light versus the affliction of the dark. But he said, wherefore hast thou afflicted thy servant? And wherefore have I not found favor in thy sight, that thou layest the burden of all the people upon me? And he had to learn the hard way that this is what Yahweh do. And yes, it got heavy for Moses. And Yahweh wanted to see when is this man going to get to the point of too heavy. And when it got too heavy, Yahweh delivered him. But he had to test his strength. But this man took the burden on. He made himself responsible for the people. He stood in the gap. He suffered himself for the people. He didn't complain about it. And the task that he had was harder than any task that any of us can ever bear. I'm a man with 3 sons, a Moreh, a husband with a house, a keeper of the sanctuary. I'm a son with a mother and grandmother still living, a father, siblings. And everything in life comes with labor. I got myself, friends. But it ain't nothing compared to what other people have. They got more children, more family. But this man had millions of people that he had to carry on his back. Millions of children. And so, but this was a righteous affliction. This man goes down in the books with the greats. Look what it says in the book of Isaiah 53, one of the famous scriptures that people like to go to prove that their deity is in Yah's book. But yet, that same deity name is totally absent. It's not there. You have to conjure up some kind of solution, some trick, and do some witchcraft that make it appear. But those that's in the light, the smoke is cleared out immediately. It's not there. Look what it says in Isaiah 53, the 12th verse. And actually, I'll start at verse 11. He shall see of the travail of his soul, and shall be satisfied by his knowledge. Excuse me, let me start that over. He shall see of the travail of his soul, and shall be satisfied. Why is he satisfied by the travail of his soul? The travail of his soul, and he's satisfied? Because he understands what he gets it. He's feeling this travail, and he knows this is just the path to the top of the mountain. And I'm headed to the top, baby. I'm about to truck it. Thighs hurting, knees hurting, back hurting, but I'm getting to the top. And I'm about to take all this affliction. I ain't giving up. You got those down here at the bottom. They acting like they at the top. But they ain't up there at all. They ain't nowhere near it. But it says, he shall see the travail of his soul, shall be satisfied. By his knowledge shall my righteous servant justify many. For he shall bear their iniquities. This is what the true righteous do. They bear the iniquity of the people. They bear the iniquity because they trying people need help because of their iniquities. They need help because they fooling. They need help because they wasting time. They need help because a whole bunch of things. But this one, he's going to stand in the gap. And he's going to try to do what he can to help everybody, even to his own travail and his own hurt, because he know what it means. Therefore, watch this 12th verse. Therefore will I divide him a portion with the greats, and he shall divide the spoil with the strong. And why? Because he poured out his soul unto death. He knew his mind couldn't be more worried about rest. He knew his mind couldn't be more worried about relaxation. He knew his mind couldn't be worried about pleasures. To sit at the table with the greats, to divide the spoil with the greats, you got to pour your soul out to death. You got to put the righteous burden upon your back. But see, when you unrighteous and you wicked, this is how you talk. In Jeremiah, the 35th chapter. This is how you look at burdens when you're wicked. See, our people, we don't want to humble ourselves. We don't want to humble ourselves at all. We want to be heard. We want to be the one. We want to be the it factor. We don't want to be no servant. We don't want to play the humble role. And the last thing we want to do is to be working and laboring from sun up to sundown. Well, if you don't want to work and labor, don't call yourself a servant of Yah. Because Yahweh made his servants. The word servant. Do you get it? Servant. What don't make sense is that a servant don't want to work. A servant it just don't make sense. Jeremiah 35. Jeremiah 23. Starting at around verse 35. And actually, let's start at verse 33. Jeremiah 23, verse 23. And when this people or the prophet or a priest shall ask thee, saying, what is the burden of Yah? Here you come with the word of Yah. What's the burden, man? What's the burden of Yah? That's how you going to talk? See, when you really understand walking humbly with Yah, the righteous affliction and the burden that come by reason of blessings. Blessings come with burdens. So when you talking about the burden of Yah, you don't want blessings? You think blessings come without burdens? It says, shall ask thee, saying, what is the burden of Yah? Thou shalt then say unto them, what burden? I will even forsake you, says Yah. And as for the prophet, the priest, and the people that shall say the burden of Yah, I will even punish that man and his house. Thus shall ye say, everyone to his neighbor, everyone to his brother, what has Yahweh answered, and what has Yahweh spoken? And the burden of Yah shall ye mention no more, for every man's word shall be his burden. And so that's how the wicked will look at the righteous walk in humility that Yahweh wants us to embrace. Something simple as raise your son, man. Raise him every day. Don't take your mind off of him. Don't take your hand off of him. I know it's a lot of work, but that's the righteous burden I want you to carry. We have a tribe, Issachar and Zebulun. Yahweh said these two, they will be burdened, crouched between burdens, because all the blessings coming by way of the seas will go through these tribes. And they will have to deal with all the abundance that's converted unto the nation of Israel that's coming by way of all other nations. And you got to take this stuff off the ships. You got to keep track of this stuff. You got to number it. You got to count it. You got to load it. It's a whole cargo business. And Yahweh said, you read it in Genesis, I believe the 33rd chapter. No, Deuteronomy 33. He said these people really love rest because they're going to be burdened all day. But it's a beautiful burden. Righteous. Before I get off of here, I just want to shine a light. Let's go to the book of 1 Samuel, the 25th chapter. We want to find ways to run from affliction, to run from servitude. We don't want to serve our spouses, our kids, our brothers, our sisters, our father, our mother, our friends, the sanctuary, our grandmother, aunts. We don't want to serve nobody. But yet the light of Yah is going to show you that that's all I want you to do is serve. And the more you serve, the more your light will rise in obscurity. Keep yourself busy in helping, serving. And Yahweh will direct your steps. But walk humbly with thy Elohim. 1 Samuel 25. Look what it says. The 21st verse says, Now David had said, Surely in vain have I kept all that this fellow has in the wilderness, so that nothing was missed of all that pertained unto him. And he have requited me evil for good. So more also do Elohim unto the enemies of David, if I leave of all that pertain to him by the morning light, any that pisses against the wall. And when Abigail saw David, she hasted and lighted off the ass. And this is what we're going to get into, because I'm going to come before you again. Praise Yah that he allows me to come before you tomorrow. And I want to get more into the testimonies and showing you people like this woman here, how they show they live in the light. That's why I said to the law and to the testimony. And this woman was a great testimony. For if you read this chapter, it says that this woman, although King Solomon, it was said that out of 1,000 women, he found none that was wise. But David found one. Her name is Abigail. And it ain't just say she was very wise. She was wise and very understanding. This woman lived in the light of Yah, walked in the light of Yah, and is a light of Yah. She saved King David's life. She saved the lives of the innocent people that was around her, that David was about to kill. And Yahweh ended up taking this woman and making her the wife of one of the greatest sons that ever go down in history. Upgrade. Promotion. And she didn't fight for it. All she did was serve. But look what it says. She hasted and lighted off the ass and fell before David on her face and bowed herself to the ground. Do you see how I look to walk in the light of Yah? This is the kind of humility. It says, and she fell at his feet and said, Upon me, my master, upon me, let this iniquity be. This is the kind of person Isaiah 53 is talking about. Isaiah 53 is talking about Abigail that's going to stand and bear the iniquity of other people. Put her face on the ground at his feet. Can't you see why we run away from the light of Yah? And the last thing that we want to do is fall down to somebody's feet. The last thing I want to do is give up my good ideas and do what you want me to do and how you telling me to do things and serve you. But you ain't got nothing. Who gives you the right to come in here and express all your thoughts? You just came off the streets. And now you got all the good ideas and we about to just run and do what you want us to do and how you think we should do it? You ain't got the humility to show yourself approved first? Show yourself that you at least good at following instruction? Is you good at that? Do you got any good ideas with following simple instructions? Do this and then you do it the exact way? Can you follow simple instructions? I don't care about none of that. If you can't follow simple instructions, the scriptures say, man, a faithful messenger is like
90
snow to the
seconds.
earth. It's refreshing when you got somebody that a faithful messenger. Which means what? You're going to send them and they're going to do everything to the T that you told them to do. And when they come back, ain't nothing going to be wrong. Because they mind it, I want to follow instructions. It ain't about my idea. It ain't about my thoughts. It ain't about my ways. It's about instructions.
60 seconds.
You got a little son and daughter, you want them to what? They might have a good idea. But the best idea is that you just show that you can follow instructions. But listen what it says. She fell at his feet. And it's something about the humble. Those that Yahweh will take. Get off that ground, baby. Get off that ground. I'm about to take you up here to the top of Mount Zion, where King David lived at. I took King David from following the sheep in the backyard while all his brothers was too haughty, too prideful to be in the backyard. I took King David from out there in the hot sun getting baked and burnt and had to do all the hard, heavy lifting and hard work. And he ain't complain. All he was just embracing it, singing his beautiful songs, thinking about the Almighty. And then one day he seen that, man, all this work I was doing got me strong as an ox. All this sun got me strong as an ox. I've been burnt up and getting strong. And now Yahweh done took me from the lowest and then took me to the top. But we don't want to be low. And we don't want to wait around on Yah to take us nowhere. Yah, you taking too long. I have to get where I got to get. And Yah like, yeah, I'm taking long because you still ain't doing nothing. You still ain't doing what I want you to do. You ain't showing me approve. Where you at right now, just do something. Just do anything where you at right now to show me some kind of light. Show me that you worth anything. Show me your worth and your value. Now, if you show me haughtiness, arrogancy, and that you did, I don't want to see that. Show me your value and worth. And if you got any value and worth, you're going to be beneficial no matter where I put you. No matter where you end up, you're going to be some kind of benefit. And he says, and then not only she fell at David's feet, I got to show you, she even fell at the servant's feet. If you look at the 41st verse, she arose and bowed herself on her face again to the earth and said, behold, let thy handmaid be a servant to wash the feet of the servants of my master. Just let me be a servant. Let me be a servant. Let me afflict myself and humble myself and wash the feet. Because it wasn't to show them anything. This woman knew, she knew Yah. She knew Yahweh was upgrading her. And she showed Yah, you upgraded me, but the first thing first, I'm about to show you that I'm going to maintain my humility. So first thing first, I'm going to wash the feet of David's servants, my husband. And that's the sign, y'all. I'm going to keep my humility. And even when I become the husband, if I got to wash these same feet again, I will. Because all I want to do is be a servant. And the reason I want to be a servant, because at the end thereof, I want to divide the spoil with the greats. And here it is. Name in a book, written, Abigail. One of the most wisest and understanding women you can read. She's right there with Sarah, Rebecca. With that being said, people, I have more. You want to look at Ruth as well. Her relationship with feet. With that being said, thank you, Yah. I love you, Yah. And I love you all. Praise the mighty Yah. Shalom, shalom. Yahweh is righteous. Yahweh is holy. And let his word and his name continually be magnified.
Let the judgment run down like the waters, and the righteousness flow as the streams. Let Yahweh's name be exalted in the high praises of my Elohim. Let the judgment run down like the waters, and the righteousness flow as the streams. Let Yahweh's name be exalted in the high praises praises of my Elohim. Yo, Yah come in the volume of the book. His word is life, so we got the killers shook. Wisdom was in the chief places from the beginning to enlighten the sons of men. But the fighting among twins ushered in sin, and brothers been beefing ever since. Yah come in the volume of the book by the truth and sell it not. So we got these robbers out here shook. Understanding is departing from evil. He flooded the earth once and there'll be no sequel, but the fire next time. That's why I'm the messenger refined in the fire of affliction, opening your eyes to the foolish ways and the devil's contradictions. Singing to Allah, to my Yah. Let the judgment run down like the waters, and the righteousness flow as the streams. Let Yahweh's name be exalted in the high praises of my Elohim. Let the judgment run down like the waters, and the righteousness flow as the streams. Let Yahweh's name be exalted in the high praises of my Elohim.
I praise Yah summer and winter season, and dismiss the statues was taught by these heathens. Y'all give me the reason to call them out, only misleading and treasons. A man's heart that was given to these beastlings. No, we're not even. Back to seeking the heart of Yah. 7 is what he requires for the draw silver to be polished by fire. Constantly led by my Elohim, who visits messengers through visions or a dream. Slaves that were formerly your king will one day rise and seek the purpose of their being. The feeling is serene. The Israel is a prince who has power with Elohim and man. And no longer do we advance or realize the reaches of the stars. Upon the shoulder, but promotion coming by Yah, who can take it thus far. Give him YAH'S not salat to the Almighty Yah.
Let the judgment run down like the waters, and the righteousness flow as the streams. Let Yahweh's name be exalted in the high praises of my Elohim. Let the judgment run down like the waters, and the righteousness flow as the streams. Let Yahweh's name be exalted in the high praises of my Elohim. Hallelujah. Singing to Allah, to my Yah, to my Yah.